A new customer of AlbumGen recently emailed us a request to create a custom page border for him. He offered to pay us to create the album border, but we told him there was no need to pay us once we saw what he was looking for. He can create the border on his own quite easily, and I showed him how. And then sent him the page so he could do it on his own. Shown here is the border that he had emailed us, and this is what he had created, and he wanted us to replicate that in AlbumGen for him. The border he was using, I believe he created it in using Word, and he found it cumbersome to create pages with Word and other programs he had purchased, hence his purchase of AlbumGen. I'll show you a closer look of this border that he had sent us, and it was kind of a mid blue color with rounded corners. So I'll show you now how we created this particular album right from step one to create this, and I'll start from the beginning. So we'll do a new album first. So I'm just going to call this. And we'll use the standard specs that I always use for templates. And this is the basic page that you would start adding objects to in AlbumGen. But we're going to modify that. So the first thing we will do is change the border style and set all the borders to none. So we're going to right click and on the page setup, and we're going to go to margins and borders and change all the borders to 0. And now we have our basic page. And then one last thing I forgot to do here is change the border to none. So we have no border on there now. So we're now going to create the border that he wanted. What we're going to do is use a polygon. And we're going to make sure it has rounded corners. And the size we're going to use is 175 by 226, which is the size of the page. I'm just going to move that on screen here. And finally, we're going to change the color to the same as the original. Now, to match the color exactly, as I showed you before, I used Easy Image. And what you do is you use the color wand and you just hover over the colored area, and you can read the RGB values here. So in our case, it's 47, 82, 143. So I'll switch back to AlbumGen, right click, go to Properties, and for color, I'm going to put 47 by 82 by 143. And now we have the right color. I'm also going to change the point style, and we'll click OK. And now we have what we want. And I'm now going to center it on the page. And now we have an exact border as to what the customer was requesting. So now that we have the exact same border the user was asking for, we sent them this. And when he got it, he reviewed it, and then he asked if it was possible to add a country label box at the top. And I'm sure that's fairly easy, and I'll show you how we did it. He mentioned that the way he was doing it in Word was very cumbersome, and I won't get into the details, but it's fairly simple in AlbumGen. So we'll place a rectangle on the page, and we're going to use the same color as before, 47, 82, 143. And this time we're going to use a 2-point border with a weight of 2. And we're going to put it on the page. And as you can see, that's pretty close to what we want. And then I'm going to put that up there, and I'm going to center it across the page. And I'm just going to move it down a bit. And as you can see, this is close, but it's still not quite right because the border goes through the center of the box, which is not what we want. To fix this, all we do is right-click on the shape and go to Properties, and we enable a fill color of white and click OK. And now that you see that border does no longer goes through it. And to add a label in there for the country, again, you just right-click on it, go to Settings, Text, and type what you want in there. Let's say this is for Canada, and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, and we'll make it bold. And there you go. Oops. So now we have a border exactly to the specs that the customer was wanting to do. And you can do this on your own fairly easily. And if you experiment, you can create all sorts of kinds of borders like this. And once you have your template set up, you can copy and paste this to all other pages if you want. So if you do a Control-A to select everything, Control-C, and then what you want to do is insert a page. And then just do Control-V and repeat as needed. So if you experiment, again, I think you'll find you can do pretty much whatever you need. So explore and enjoy. Thank you.